which has 2 pages, front and back, which is a template guide for the study, reviewing the budgets of 5 focal states and the FCT. Now, we are here on the overall basis of the Spotlight Initiative. And as you can see, the big picture vision of the Spotlight Initiative is a Nigeria where all women and girls, particularly the most vulnerable, live a life free from violence and harmful practices. This is the big picture of the Spotlight Initiative of all these groups that you've called that have been coming around, including ourselves that came here today. Why we are here is on the understanding of what we call the Plan Policy Budget Continuum. The Plan Policy Budget Continuum is that if you make all the beautiful plans in the world and everybody's dancing that your plans make sense, and all the beautiful laws and policies, and everybody's clapping for you that you made the best policies in the world, if you don't put down resources in terms of money, human resources, information resources, technological resources to implement it, that beautiful plan and policy will be hanging in the air. It will be gathering dust on the shelf. So you have a beautiful plan, but it's not implemented. So in recognition of that, we are mindful that Nigeria has ratified so many international documents bordering on violence against women and the rights of women to their human dignity. Principal among which is the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women. Nigeria ratified this treaty without a single reservation to say we don't like this section or not. If you look at our constitution, it talks about every Nigerian not to suffer discrimination on the basis of sex, place of origin, language, religion. You are who you are. You are not simply going to be judged that you are a man or a woman. And the same constitution gives us the right to the dignity of the human person. It didn't say dignity of the human boy or girl, or dignity of the human man or human woman. It said everybody, person, is a language and they use. So, with all these policies, Child Rights Act at the federal level, universal basic education, and we say every child must be in school. It is not only free, it is compulsory, it is universal, and federal and state government are supposed to take care of the cost of this. So absolutely, absolutely, there is no reason, absolutely none, because the money is there, why any child should be begging on the streets at a time others are in school. Now, what we are now trying to do is to look at the budgets, federal budget, state budget, local government budget, to ask ourselves, have we put the money where our mouth is, where we say we are going, have we supported it with enough resources? And that's the question that the research is trying to solve. It's not trying to solve it from the point of view of trying to say you have failed or you have succeeded or trying to ridicule anybody. There are 6 here, madam. It is trying to solve it to determine if there is a gap. And if there is a gap, we can gently now sit down to see how we can plug that gap, how we can solve that challenge. I believe and I'm convinced, I know as a fact, that Nigeria is a country very, very blessed and with rich resources. The problem and challenge with us is that we have not been able to harness those resources in such a wonderful way as to begin to develop. There are countries in the world like Netherlands. If you look at them, they may not be more than the size of Lagos State 2 or 3 times. Yet they produce a good part of the milk that is we take around the world. Okay? They produce beef, they produce milk, they export it. Their land area is not up to Sokoto State. But what have they done is that they have used up those resources to be able to create value. So, and almost all successful countries in the world, one thing that is happening is that they are not firing on one cylinder when they have 2 cylinders. The human society is like an engine with 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 cylinders. If you keep one section of your society down and refuse to tap the resources available through them, it's like an engine, 4-cylinder engine, you are firing with 2 cylinders. There is no way you can compare with any other society that is firing on its 4 cylinders. Because it is in the interest of everybody that everybody works to contribute to the pool of creation of resources. And when it's also time to reap, everybody comes to the table and has a fair share based on what he or she needs to survive. So ladies and gentlemen, we are here to validate the report that is already done. We assigned a consultant to come and look at your state policies and laws and look at your budget to come and study and see, has there been adequate resources? What exactly has been done? But we believe that nobody knows it all, and therefore we cannot go ahead to publish what the perspective based on credible evidence, what we think is credible evidence to say. So we are calling you here today to say, look at what we have seen. There are those of you who have a hands-on experience, like those in the ministries, those who are living here, those who experience it better. So it is for you to say, A or B written in this report does not represent the actual situation. And if it does not, look at the evidence to show where we're supposed to be. This one is misstated, or this one is, we neglected this one, we didn't put it in at all, or we even have exaggerated some achievements. So that at the end of the day, the report will be a report that will not just be a spotlight or CSJ report, but it will be like a Sokoto State report, which you generated and owned, and which you are going to make recommendations on how to improve your state. The state is yours. Those who are living here are the ones who are going to feel it if it goes bad. If it also goes good, those living here are the ones who are going to benefit and enjoy it. So at the end of the day, what we are merely coming to do is to facilitate, to help make sure that the gains of democracy, the gains of whatever has been achieved across board in Nigeria does not elude any part of Nigeria, that we all move forward together and march on together. So ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for attending this workshop and leaving whatever you have been doing or you have supposed to do this morning to be here with us. So once more, I say welcome. Thank you.